Welcome to this new podcast episode of In Between Rest and Movement, where I speak with all kind of different people about their life, about love and everything that shows up in their world. Well, let me introduce you to our new guest. Enjoy!
So, good morning, dear Tess. It's really
Good
nice to have
morning.
you as a guest in my podcast, In Between Rest and Movement. And before I want you to introduce yourself, I want to just, for both of us, checking in with our bodies. So, how are you feeling today? So, you can place both feet on the ground and perhaps you want to put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart and just feel how the breath is moving you. You can close your eyes or opening your eyes just to checking in with your body, how it is on this Sunday morning. Just, you do not have to say anything, just feel and be. So, checking in, your feet on the ground, your hands on your body. And from this position, I would love to ask you my first question. How do you feel today in this moment?
So, what I felt immediately when you asked me how you feel, and I went like to my inner world to see really how my body is feeling right now. I feel like really powerful, really centered.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a lot of strength
Mm-hmm.
and also a huge movement happening in
Mm-hmm.
terms of me moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly how I feel. Funny
Mm-hmm.
enough, funny enough, when you told me you put your feet on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
I have been always a huge fan of fitness, not always, actually, since the last 5, 6 years. What I'm doing these days, I'm not training my whole body, I'm just focusing on my legs because the legs has the biggest muscles, and training the biggest muscles give you the best benefits. So I was searching for shortcuts, and I
Yeah.
really feel that my legs are becoming really strong. And this is why
Mm.
when I put them in the floor, I felt that strength.
Nice. Yeah. So, thank you. What I felt was a kind of calm breath in my body and a kind of gratefulness as well for feeling that, for being in the moment, and just sharing what comes up today in this podcast.
I also felt a lot of excitement coming from the podcast today, as well, a lot of excitement for what's going in my life.
Mm,
So this was part of the feelings that I had.
yeah, yeah. Hey, and Tess, can you please introduce yourself to the listeners today?
Yes.
And then also what's going on in your life because I'm curious.
Yes, sure. So my actual name is not Taz. My actual name is Mutaz. So I made a shortcut where I removed the first two letters because it was difficult for me when I moved to Europe that people memorize my name.
Mm.
So by making the shortcut Taz, it became easier for people to remember my name, and it brought different energies for me inside me and in my world as well. So my real name is Mutaz. I'm originally from Yemen. I grew up there until I was 18 years old. While I was in Yemen, I was thinking I will be the best football player. I used to train all of the time. I was a really good football player. And then I decided, with the support of my parents or my father, to be accurate about it, to move to Germany and start another life and to go through more powerful foundation, profound education. So I decided to go to Germany, where I arrived to Berlin, and I started learning the German language. This is 15 years ago, and I continued playing football. Then I moved to different cities so that I can start my education. I became part of a football team in Germany, and I reached a place where I need to make a decision, either to go professionally football or professionally to the education and have university degree. Due to my circumstances, I decided to go to the university because, as a foreigner person back in the days in Germany, I would not be able to stay to do the football. So I went to the university, and since then I dropped playing football. So imagine I was playing football 24 hours, and the moment I went to university, I dropped playing football, and since then I never play again. Like since 10 years, I never touch a ball again, which is also something interesting when I think about. And then I continued my studies. I did my bachelor's and my master's in Berlin as a business management and engineering. I was so obsessed with this. I wanted to be always one of the biggest people who will connect the East and the West through business. Still, I'm still dreaming for that and working on that. And I started working after my degree as a business consultant in big corporations. KPMG, Capgemini is one among them. And with the time, after 4 years doing this full time, I realized that the work I was doing, it's great for my CV, for my career, but it was not something that really fulfilled me. And not of any aspect, not financially, not emotionally, not socially, because we used to work with companies, create projects. However, for me, it was more superficial. We don't have human connection. And this is why I decided to drop all of this and start my coaching business, which I was already doing, but I wasn't running it as a business. I was running it as a foundation, as a hobby. I was supporting people around me. I had a couple of clients as well. However, I was supporting them without getting a huge return of benefits.
Mm,
Then I decided, okay, I will start this professionally. I will do this for my life. And the moment I did this, I got the invitation from Team Tony.
mm, mm,
And that was around 4 years ago, where I started this journey with Tony Robbins, supporting people all around the world to support them to step up from themselves in any aspect. It could be for their dreams, it could be for themselves, maybe for their relationships. The most important thing for me is to support people all around the world to become the person they want, to have the life they want. I don't care what's the aspect of it, if it's money or if it's just emotion or more health. That's what I care for, that people will have the life that they want.
mm,
And I had the privilege to be one of those people that Tony trusts to travel the world and train and coach people and businesses as well and organizations to have this aspect in their life, to have the life that they want.
mm,
And this is what I'm really driven by right now. What also I'm driven by right now is I have a lot of curiosity for the human psychology and how the brain function. Something that really astonishing I'm researching about these days is the behaviorism in the psychology aspect. Because when we study the field of psychology, there are
yeah.
different sectors. You have the psychoanalysis that was done by Freud, and then you have the archetypes that is done by Carl Jung, and then you have the behaviorism that is started with Pavlov. And I'm really interested in seeing this behaviorism and why we act the way we are. And it's so interesting. It's so interesting. And what's really astonishing about this and interesting about this is the studies where we are applying right now as coaches, as trainers, as humans, are studies that were done in 1920. So this is not new things that we are using. Those are all discoveries that we have been discovered or people discovered back in the days, but we were unable to apply it in a practical way.
Mm,
This is something I find so curious or so interesting that make me so curious about.
mm. Wow. Yeah, that's curiosity, yeah. That's
Yes,
the movement you're talking about, what you are
yes,
experiencing. And when we have our calls, then I experience that too, the curiosity, how important that is in my life as well. When I lose my curiosity, then it's a kind of, yeah, in between times, and I don't think that's bad thing. But when the
Yes.
curiosity comes up, then there comes more energy, more bubbling energy, and then it's more looking outside what's happening there, instead of only looking inside. I think it's both
Yes.
very important to
Yes.
really be aware of what's happening in the body. I well, it's, for me, it's a lot about embodiment, what's feeling, and how can I react to that, how can I show that to the world or be that in the world. um, but that excitement, what's happening and what's pushing people or holding people back, I think that's really interesting. And when you're talking about more the psychology of how people behave, yeah, that's never ending
Yes.
journey, I think. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
And what I really love also, what Tony mentions here is the biggest force that lead human beings are invisible forces, like gravity, like the magnetic fields. And one of the biggest force that leads our behavior is the emotions. If
mhm,
you approach a topic from curiosity, you will approach it totally differently when you approach it from anxiety or from having fear from this topic.
yeah, yeah,
And when you approach it while having certainty, it's totally different when you approach it with being lazy.
yeah, yeah,
So those emotions which you were mentioning that me and you I think share a lot, and this is why we connect always, is
yeah,
the curiosity that we bring about ourselves and the world around us.
yeah.
And this is the biggest force that people can have, which emotions they bring to which direction.
That's so true, and it's also what you learned me is about riding in a state of a kind of the warrior or the magician or from the queen. That really brings up other energy. What you bring, what
Yes,
I bring into words, into kind of things I say, and that's so important. Yeah, knowing that. So
yes,
bringing people there, being aware of what they can do, I think it's amazing.
yes, yes. As you said, like which energy we bring when we are writing is totally different because where focus goes, energy flows. And
Yeah,
when you come up as a warrior, you will have a different focus. And this is why your writing will have a different energy. It will have different impact in the people.
yeah, yeah,
And what's so important here is people sometimes demonize things like, oh, this warrior is bad. I don't want to have it. It's not about that. All of this past exists in us. And this is why we are humans and we reach what we reach. The question is how to become more conscious of deploying the right energy that will empower you in that moment, that will help you to achieve what you want.
yeah, 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 and also accept those parts that we all have. It's
Yes,
light, it's darker, it's everything, and showing up showing up with who you truly are, I think
yes,
is so important. And what I discovered is that sometimes I show up half, not showing everything. And I don't think you have to show up whole every time, sharing everything that's there, depends on situations.
yes,
Being aware of it, that when do I not show emotions like vulnerability, or I am the best yogi, or but I'm the best yogi when I show up with who I truly am. But sometimes
yes,
that's so, yeah, that's writing too. Yeah, but it's
yes,
being too by doing that. Then it seems like then I become in my saddle. Then I do not have to pretend anymore. And that's a kind of
yes,
process that I went through in this last year, this whole year. And
yes,
I think that's so important. But Tess, it makes me curious as well, because you first had the idea you wanted to become a footballer. You were playing every single hour, minute, whatever. How was your body feeling when you stopped that? Because that was a huge.
It's it's a great question, and me myself, to be honest, I really do not understand how I was able to do that shift.
Yeah,
Imagine I was a person who I used to study for my high school while having the ball on my feet.
yeah,
Like literally, I was having the book like this and playing with the ball 24 hours.
yeah.
Even sometimes when I'm coaching right now, I do have a small ball on my feet.
Aha, yeah,
And then I went to Germany and I started playing 4 or 5 times a week and training like almost every day.
yeah,
And the moment I made the decision, it's like my brain shuttered the idea of football down. I stopped feeling curious about football. I even stopped watching football match. I was not the biggest fan watching football match, but there are like classical games I always watch. Like I will go with my friends.
yeah.
And the moment my mind decided, okay, I will let off football go, I will let football go, it was like a switch on, a switch off. And since then, I lost my curiosity, I lost my passion for football. And since then, I don't feel compelled or attracted to football anymore.
Uh, and you were not sad about that?
No, I was not sad.
Yeah.
I was not sad.
So I think that's really a huge example for being really 100% clear about your decision. Because
Exactly.
then you can get those feelings, because otherwise you can sometimes feel sad, or did I make the right decision? You did, and you were completely sure about yourself. I think
Yes.
that's great. Yeah,
I believe it's great as well.
yeah,
And, part of my paths in life is I believe that life is always happening for me. So if something does not make sense right now, I believe it makes a huge sense in the future.
yeah.
Because even when I think about football, I'm approaching my 34 right now. I think more or less it will be the end of my career when it comes to football if I win that path.
Yeah.
And thinking what I experienced, what I discovered, and the future that I'm building myself, for me, it's more meaningful from being a football player.
Mhm.
Me being a coach on the corner of people who wants me and needs me. It's for me right now, it's more fulfilling. It has more impact. It has more meaning than just being a football player. A football player is something great. However, when I compare both of them right now, I'm so glad that I went that direction that I am in right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious, Tess, as well. Do you coach people who are really into sports, that have a career
Yes,
in sports, because you know that world quite good?
yes.
Yeah.
They are not most people that I coach, but I do have people who actually are preparing for the Olympics,
Ah,
for the next Olympics. So I coach also athletes who are performing in the best worldwide.
wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So when I'm listening to your story, I think I've got an idea about where you are in life. But do you have more with? I have this question for all of my guests. Do you have more with rest or with movement?
I am actually a movement person. I move a lot.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And are you aware of the importance of that in between, so that rest as well?
So I believe rest is so important as well. Otherwise, when you think also about the best athletes, the people who train the most, they always have this rest.
Yeah,
Everyone needs this rest for their mental and for their physical body as well.
yeah.
For me, when it comes to the rest, I love more active resting rather than just resting. I
Mhm.
rest every day. This is what most of the people do not understand. I'm always moving, but I rest every day. I do have a night ritual that force me, even if I don't want, force my body to rest. I have like around 25 minutes to 20 minutes to 25 minutes every day. I don't care if I slept 3 hours, if I slept six, if I'm traveling, if I'm at home, if I'm organizing a training. I always force myself to be rest and grateful at the end of the day. So I go and I do a breathing technique for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I do a breathing technique that will force my body to go to the sympathetic, no, to the parasympathetic nervous system where my body starts to relax, really relax physically. because the way we breathe, it will activate either fight or flight or digest on relaxed systems. So I start by allowing myself or push myself, force myself actively to relax. And then I do 10 minutes or I do 3 minutes of gratitude. And then I do 3 minutes of stretching gratitude while I'm being in a state of greatness and grateful for what happened in the past and what will happen in my future. I go and stretch and I do this for 7, 10 minutes. Then I grab something to write and I call it celebrating journal, where I write 5 things I'm so happy about that happened these days.
Yeah.
And I do them with a huge smile where I'm smiling like I own this world.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I finish this and I feel myself not only relaxed, but so filled with positive energy, with gratitude, with happiness, and already excited for what's coming tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to share those words you were writing yesterday, or is that perhaps a bit too private?
No, I can share them. I don't
Yeah.
remember them what I was exactly writing,
Yeah.
but what came to my mind yesterday, and this is something really important when it comes to celebrating journal. Most of the people think they need to write, especially the people that I work with, they are like high achievers, people who make millions. And they think, oh, I need to write something really big. And I'm really against this because our brain does not understand between big win and small win.
Hmm.
Both of them are win for us. The brain understand, does it bring pleasure? Does it push some hormones to come out? That's a win.
Hmm.
And this is why I keep always reminding people, focus also on the small things that's happening in your life that you believe it's a win. And for me, making a person laugh is always a win. So when I walk in the street and I have an eye contact, maybe even with a baby, and
Yeah.
I start teasing them
Yeah.
and they smile for me back, that's a huge win.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
also when I go and I close deal with $50,000, that's a huge win as well. Both of them are win. And
Yeah.
for me, it's so important to train the mind to focus on the big and the small things so that
Mm.
I celebrate more. I become a more happier person. So one of the things that I celebrated yesterday is I'm living in a co-living place. So the owner of the place, she brought her nephews yesterday. It's the first time I met them. And so my Spanish is not the best right now. I can communicate in Spanish, but it's not like English or German or an Arabic. And the kids came and they just speak Spanish, and we had funny conversation, in Spanish, and we were laughing. And I was able to build one of great connection with one of them. Then I went back to my room, and he came and knocked the door to tell me, it was nice to meet you. I'm going home. So it
Ah.
was such a lovely moment with him. And
Yeah.
this is one of the things that I celebrated by the end of the day.
Yeah. That's true, eh? And you are so true. It's not only about big things because then it's too much. That can be exhausting. Finding
Yes,
something, but you do not have to find. It's already there, but you have to see or
exactly.
feel
And
or explore.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. It reminds me of yesterday. I was sitting in the train, and opposite of me there was a lady who had a kind of energy drink and coffee, and she was so tired. But I when we had a kind of nice interaction, just by a smile or something small. And when I left the train, I said, "Have a great day." And then she smiled, and something else came into her face, and that was so beautiful. So be aware of who you are looking at. It doesn't have to be. It can be everybody, and just a smile and wishing each other a good day. I think that's so. Yeah, it's also a small thing that can make a very good
Yes,
feeling in our own body,
yes,
but in the other ones as well. Yeah, so I can
yes.
relate to that. Yeah.
And I think this will become even more important because we are shifting more into the digital world since Corona and what happened. People are living their life in boxes. It means in their room, in their cars, in the elevator, or working digitally.
Yep.
And this makes people right now really miss the human connection. And AI is coming. It's
Yeah.
me, and it's coming. There is no way around it right now. And this is why we also need to keep the eye on our human skills
Yeah.
and our building the connection with others
Yeah.
and smiling for each other, connecting with each other.
Yeah.
And this will become one of the most important skills for a human to survive, I believe.
Ah,
Because
yeah.
when you think about it, what's happening right now, there are people who keep in their room or in their working place for weeks without going out. They
Mhm.
can just order whatever they want and they are working with their computer. It's not good, it's not bad. However, for us as the human, we should not forget our human experience, which comes with connecting,
Yeah.
because we are social animals at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. We need each other as a company
Yes,
or whatever. And that's not the digital part. Of course, we can talk with everybody around the world. And I think that's really good thing. But you need
yes,
just to grab each other's hands or just pat on each other's back or just, yeah, feel the connection. I think
exactly,
that's such an important part you are saying now.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, yeah. It makes me speechless as well for how simple that always was to be together and now
Yes.
how complicated it can be.
Yes, I think you experienced this as well. I did. The way we were growing up, we did not have social media. So for us, it was like going out, meeting the kids' neighborhoods
Yeah,
and playing with them. That was our social media. It
yeah,
was the social, but not media. It was social reality.
yeah,
And seeing kids right now playing with the social media 24 hours, I have my nephews seeing them. I see people's children in the parks around me. They have no ability to connect with each other.
yeah,
And I find it sad for them.
yeah.
I,
And
I find it sad.
yeah, and they connect via the phone. They are there, that's the screen is always there. But I grew up in a family and my parents didn't like TV. So we were not able to watch TV during the day and sometimes in the evening just one or two programs, but that's at least once a week or whatever. But of course, we really, as kids, wanted to watch TV or dance on top of, those
Yes,
programs. And those days there were only three or four channels. It was not like now.
yes,
But we were always outside, and sometimes we did some naughty things just to go in with our friends and then watch TV. But my dad, he always said to us, when you look TV, your eyes will become squares. So when I look in your eyes, I know you watch what I did as a kid when I watched TV with one of my friends. I went outside, I looked at the wall and just really looked at the wall, the wall, the wall, and then came home just playing just like me, that I was sure my eyes would not square. That's a kind of I never think about this, but that's really, yeah, what my parents really believed in, and that as kids you want to be naughty as well.
yes, yes, yes. That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have another question for you, Tess. It's what we were talking about the other day. It's always about shine by yourself, removing things that do not matter so that you can completely focus on what really matters. So, not be distracted by other things. And then you said it's always about you and you. That's very, and it really makes me very curious. Can you say something about this topic? Can you share?
Yes, yes, sure. Because when you think about it, most of the people keep thinking, oh, I want to achieve this to make my family impress. I want to achieve this to compete with others. And in the reality, we want to achieve things to have a certain emotions,
Hmm.
to feel certain things that we hope at least it will make our life more meaningful or more impactful. And most of the people think instead of thinking inwards of achieving things, they start thinking outwards, as I told you, like to make my family happy or to satisfy someone. And in the reality, we do this just for us to have more meaningful life. That's the first thing. The second thing, we always think, okay, What's holding us back is our environment, our families, the way we grew up, or our country. And in the reality, no, it's always us and us. It's always we are holding ourselves back, or we are supporting ourselves to move forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's the moment when the awareness and the responsibility reach a level where we can experience life in the purest form, knowing that we are the creators of our life,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah. That's really true. So you are creating your own reality.
We are always creating our own reality. You know
Yeah.
what's up? Let me share something with you, dear. It's astonishing as well.
Mm.
Do you know that every time you go and you remember something in the past, it's like you open this file and you are editing it? So every time you remember something in the past, you are editing your past. Your past is not something fixed, it's not static, it's dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And people keep blaming their past for where they are right now, and their past is already made by them because every time you remember your past, you are editing it.
Mm-hmm. Because
We,
you look and you remember it by your eyes from now, by your ears from now. Is that
yes,
your meaning? Yeah.
yes, as well, because it's part of our mind that is editable, it's not something fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually the fastest way how people get over trauma is that they put themselves in a certain state and they go from the energy they have right now, from the resources they have, and they experience the past. But
Mm-hmm.
what happened for most of the people, they go to the past and they keep bringing the same person to the past. This is why they don't overcome things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the moment they bring themselves in a more powerful place or state to the past, they can move things, they can shift things. At the end of the day, plus at the end of the day, there is nothing called reality. And
Mm.
this is something I'm so keen about. There is nothing called reality. There is only the actuality that we focus on.
Yeah.
And you know this exercise, but maybe for your audience, I will do this for you so that they also comprehend this.
Yeah.
Please look for green around you. Look for green, look for green, look for green. Come on, come on, come on. I'm watching you, and close your eyes. How many objects did you see with the color blue?
I don't know. I don't know.
And
None.
open your eyes and look around. Did you see more or less?
Yeah, there's a lot of blue here.
Yes. And this is how the brain function. There is a part called reticular activating system, and this part is just responsible to filter the things into your mind. Otherwise, your mind will be so overwhelmed if we need to bring everything in and process it.
Yeah.
And everyone has different conditions.
Yeah.
Some people, they are more focused on what's going bad. Others are focusing on what's going good. And what's going good is always happening. What's going bad is always happening. The question is, where is our core focus?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is why we might go, me and you might go through the same experience right now. I will have a different focus. You have a different focus. Based on that, we have different meanings. Meanings make our emotions. And this is why I will go through an experience. You will go through the same. I will have a different emotions to that, and you will have a different emotions to that.
Yeah.
Because there is no reality. There is actuality that's based on our focus.
Yeah. And that's the moment, eh? The moment. I think the only thing that matters is the now.
Always.
Yeah. And of course, it's nice to know where you want to go to, but sometimes it's so much thinking ahead, so much planning ahead that you forget, that I forget, I have to say, that I am in the here and now, that I feel my
Yes.
body, that I feel what's there, that I can see what's happening in the here and more, I am experiencing how much I'm planning, and it can be
Yes.
small things and great things and big things, but it really brings me off the moment in the here and now, and I think that's
Yes.
important. But
Yes. And
yeah,
and this is the curse and the bliss of achievers.
yeah,
Knowing you so far, you have this commitment to keep moving in your life and achieving things that matters for you on the scales that suits you. And achievers normally have a certain pattern of focus.
Mhm.
What do you think? Achievers like yourself tend to focus more on the future, now, or past?
Achieve to the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the blessing and the curse because we focus on the future and we focus on the things we don't have. This is why we create the reality that we want by bringing the things that we want. This is achieving.
Mhm.
Achieving is about going to the future, see what you don't have, making sure that in the future you reach them. And this is a blessing because you add more achievements to your life. At the same time, this is the curse because as long as we focus on the future, as long as we focus on the things we don't have, we will not be grateful.
Yeah, that's it.
And as long as we are not grateful, we will be suffering in life.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's a really missing part now in life, that we all want to become more, bigger, greater. Social media that's pushing and attracting, and that's, there's some good in it as well. But if we only focus on more, 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 or away, 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 then we are not in our bodies, then we are not here, then we cannot feel gratefulness, because gratefulness
Yes,
you only can feel in the here and now, not tomorrow,
yes,
not yesterday.
yes. And the question is, what if we just kept achieving, achieving, achieving? What will happen then? Why are we achieving if we are not being able to be grateful and enjoying what we have?
That's it, eh? Exhaustion. Exhaustion.
And
Yeah.
this is why you will see a lot of people who go extremely successful and they are depressed or they commit suicide.
Hmm.
This is why, because they don't find a meaning. They will ask themselves, like, I'm achieving, 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 but I'm still miserable emotionally.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, and that's true. And I think it's not about how many money you're making, or how celebrated or celebrity you are, but sometimes what comes to my mind is that I feel so happy when I'm in my garden with my hands in the ground,
Yes,
when I cycle back from yoga, teaching a yoga class, feeling grateful for one connection I had with a man, or just walking. But then the thought is coming to my mind: is life really so simple? And then it's confusion. Do you can you relate to that?
yes,
Um,
yes, yes, 100%. Because, again, sometimes we keep thinking that if if life, if we are moving forward, 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 and such a moment you have a simple thing that makes you feel fulfilled, lights your eyes up, you might start questioning, like, do I really need to go for all of this to feel this feeling if I can get it in a simple thing?
yeah.
And the reality, it's conditioning.
Hmm.
And this is what most of the people don't understand. The way we are, like in every terms, the way we think, the way we act, it's just conditioned. It's a pattern that have been conditioned either by our environment or by our parents or by our friends or by ourselves.
Hmm.
Because our human mind, we have something called neuroplasticity. Scientists kept discussing this for years, thinking that we don't change because the mind will never change. We have until 18 and then it's static. No, researchers are showing we change every moment until we die. There are new neurons that help the brain to look different.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of researches and experiments shows that emotions and behaviors are conditioned when we are a child.
Hmm.
It's not me that who's doing this. I'm just a machine of the patterns that I'm having. I'm just a machine of the patterns that I have been conditioning myself.
Hmm.
And this is what people do not understand, that they are not miserable, but their patterns might make them miserable or feel miserable.
Hmm.
That they are not sad, but they are just running a bad or a sad patterns again and again.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
they are not fulfilled because they are running some patterns that are making them unfulfilled.
Yeah.
And the moment they start focusing on the other patterns that will make them fulfilled, because focus is a big pattern for our feelings, where focus goes, energy flows. What we focus on is what we feel.
Yeah.
And And when we start focusing on the things that will serve us in terms of having these emotions that we want, the whole life change.
Yeah,
It's like, are we searching for green while we wish to see more blue,
yeah,
or are we seeing the blue and we are just ignoring it?
yeah, yeah. That's it. But it keeps on coming to my mind. Can life be so simple by this? And my answer is yes.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be so complicated, so always in the future, always becoming bigger, 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 because that doesn't make me happy. Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What if life, it's not about if it can or not be so simple. What if life is so simple and we are just making it more complicated?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's real realization. Yeah. How is that for you?
I think for me, I'm in place in my life right now where I'm enjoying the simplicity of life and aiming for more. I believe as a person, part of our human experience is to grow
Mm. Yeah.
and to keep growing. And the more we grow, we experience life from a different perspective.
Hmm.
Simple example, I was watching yesterday a series, a Netflix series. I am not a huge fan of Netflix. However, I have some days, like once or twice a year where I will sit and see. And the reason I did this time, because I got a message from a friend that there is a new series called The Last Samurai.
Mm. Hmm.
And I have been traveling in Japan in the beginning of the year.
Ah.
And I went to different museums. I dedicated a lot of time to understand this culture, Japanese culture, about the samurai, the ninjas, what happened. For you, if you don't know this, the samurai were a social level in the society. You are a samurai. It's not just about fighting. If you are a samurai, you are like the nobles.
Mm. Hmm.
And then I don't remember when exactly there were an issue between the state, the kings, the people who are running the state of Japan, and the samurais. This is why they wanted to take all of their authorities from them.
Hmm. Yeah.
And actually, The Last Samurai is a real story, but not the one in Netflix. But it's a
Mm.
real story. And I was so keen about it. Like when I was in Japan, I went, I saw the museums, I read the history about it. And the moment I listened to The Last Samurai, I have a different association with this
Yeah.
because I experienced this when I was in Japan. I spent some time in Japan.
Yeah.
And this is why I went and saw it. What I want to say with all of this is the more we grow, not about money, but even about traveling, seeing cultures, understanding things,
Yeah.
is the moment we start perceiving the world in a different way. And this is what I'm keen about.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
want I want as well to be a millionaire, but not in terms just of money. I want to be wealthy more than being a millionaire in terms of offering myself the experiences that I want
Yeah, that's it.
and the people around me as well.
Yeah.
And I believe the more we grow, even financially, the more we grow, the more we have a different perception from the world that align with our mindset, align with our filters that is built through our experiences.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 It's really nice that you are bringing up this example of Japan. Yesterday, I was in a museum in Leiden, with all goes for, yeah, it's a Japanese a museum about Japan. I really want to travel to Japan, so I really would love to talk
Oh, you
about
need
you
to.
that
Yeah, you need to. Beautiful
later.
country.
Yeah, I want to do a pilgrimage there, just walk
Wow.
and feel and be there and explore the culture, the also the simplicity there, the in architecture, in nature, and also in the mindfulness people have, for everything they are doing. I really love that. So it's really my part of slowing down and explore what's
Yes.
really happening. So that's nice, and see that um, my parents, they were also very interested in Japan, but in those days I was not, and now I really can relate to the things my mother did, and was yeah, was curious about. That curiosity comes to
Yes.
me now in this time of my life. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I'm a huge fan of exploring the world and different cultures. This is a huge part of myself. because the more we see different cultures, we see humanity from different way.
Yeah.
And for example, I always heard about typhoons happening in Philippines and in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard about them this time, I had different emotional reaction. I was thinking like, how can I help?
Mm.
And then I was thinking like, how is this possible? I always see this, but why this time it affected me so much?
Yeah.
This time it affected me so much because I was there in the beginning of the year. I
Yeah.
have a connection with this country. I have a connection with this place.
That's it. Yeah.
And I think the more we explore and the more we go to different cultures, and not coming from a place of judging cultures or judging other people, but coming from a place to, to connect, to live their experience, to live this culture
Yeah.
and to build this bridge, the more I think also as humans we can grow in our human skills,
Mm. Mm.
connecting with other people and understanding what's going in the world right now.
Yeah. 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 That's true. That's really true. Yeah. And I can relate to that in another way that I think a couple of years ago, there's once a year a kind of action that people clean the streets, that they really take a part of their street and clean it. And when I was doing that the other day, I came there, I saw a lot of rubbish there. So it
Yes,
really felt painful in my heart because at first it was clean. And so I wanted to keep that clean and keep that open for everybody. So that's exactly what you're saying because I had a
yes,
connection with that place
yes,
that matters. So
yes,
it's working. Yeah.
yes.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and Tess, how can you keep on showing up with all of you? You were sharing about the gratefulness and the breath, but in between sessions or sometimes when you do not feel so well, uh, how can I say vital or whatever, what do you do then? What
This
can
is a really important question because these days I wake up around 7 and I start calling around 9 until 9 at night or at 8. I do have breaks in between, but this is a really good question because I think most of the people go through these challenges as well, that we know we need to do something really important, but we don't feel ready or our energy is not in the place. For me, what I do walk a lot. So if I know if I have 20 minutes break, I will not sit in front of the computer. I will go immediately and do I walk.
yeah,
I might listen to a podcast, I might listen to anything, but I will go and walk. Or I might call someone important in my life to have this conversation.
yeah,
But it's so important for me is to keep moving my body.
yeah,
This is so important for me to keep the energy flowing. I keep moving my body. Another things that I do anchor myself. Anchoring is meaning triggering something that will give me that energy immediately. And I think for you, you know this because I do this also with you in our calls. But anchoring, it's just a simple way of conditioning your body. For example, when you say a certain word, you feel a certain thing. And everyone have this experience. The moment we hear a song, we have a different emotions because this song came maybe before 20 years or before 10 years where we had different energy, and it just recall this energy in the mind.
yeah,
And I do this a lot consciously. So if I know I have 2 or 3 minutes, then I need either to listen to song or to trigger an anchor, to bring an anchor that will bring me into my energy so that I can serve the person in front of me.
yeah, yeah. So that's a constant going and constant
Yes,
awareness. How am
yes,
I feeling and how can I bring
yes,
myself up to serve the other? I think that's
yes,
so important. And we all
yes,
do that different way, but
yes,
being aware of it, I think that's
yes.
very
And
important.
yes,
Yeah,
and every most of the things that's so funny is when it comes to coaching or conditioning, it's not about teaching people new things. It's about making them aware
yeah. Mm,
because we are always focusing on something. I'm not telling you to focus. This is not something new for your brain. I'm just telling you control your focus, for example.
yeah,
Conditioning, we are always conditioned by
yeah,
the social media. They are paying billions of billions every year to
yeah,
condition us.
yeah,
And the power comes when we start grabbing those most important things and controlling them.
yeah. That's it. Yeah, yeah. That's so important and doesn't have to be. I always thought it has to be everything. Uh, Sometimes I was comparing myself to a 1001 cloth, to do everything, to serve everybody. But that's not that. I cannot do that. I cannot serve the whole world, but I can serve a certain amount of people, and that's for me
Yes,
enough.
yes, I still remember when we did this exercise with you, and we realized, okay, for you there is a certain number,
Yeah,
and for everyone it's different. For
yeah,
someone, it's if we serve one human being, it's wow. For other, it's 10. And
yeah.
the most important thing is to understand that it's not about serving everyone. You know, you cannot serve everyone. Not everyone is ready for you.
Hmm.
You are just, if you serve one person a day or one person a month, it's something awesome, it's something great.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And then be happy with that.
100%, 100%.
Mm.
Again, this is the thing that's missing. Celebration. People need to celebrate things that they are doing more by
Yeah,
focusing on what's going great and smiling, like feeling this awesomeness that they did something great and they are grateful for. Or a simple exercise, just raise your right hand, give yourself multiple taps,
yeah,
honor your ship,
yeah,
honor the things you are doing.
yeah,
Otherwise, you will be succeeding and you will lose the fuel sooner or later because you are not giving yourself the rewards, the emotional rewards that you deserve.
yeah. That's it. Yeah. So that's an ongoing everyday practice. Just
100%.
your rhythm has to be in your ritual, has to be
Yes.
every
Yes.
day again and again and again.
Yes, and imagine, if we don't take this in control, and we are all more or less affected by the social media and what's happening here or the world around us, and this social media is already conditioning us some way.
Yeah,
It's hilarious, like what I recognize in Instagram. If I see a video I send it to a friend. 2 minutes later, my all videos is going in that direction
yeah. That's
and
true.
I start focusing on that. For example, I was sharing with a friend. I think it was a country in Africa. It looks so beautiful. So I shared a video with him about it. It was only about that country. 2 days later, I'm telling him, let's go and visit that country.
Yeah,
That's conditioning.
yeah,
It's bringing it again and again in
yeah,
front of me that I built
yeah,
connection with this.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if we don't do this also with ourselves, we are losing the track of our life. This is why people will keep going in their life and they will ask themselves when they're 50 or 60, what kind of a life did I have? I'm satisfied or not?
yeah. That's it. Yeah, again and be aware of that. That it's
Yes,
in that we are going move to the left or to the right if we want
yes,
to, but we do not
yes,
have to go that way if we don't want to. That's it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So it's also about healthy boundaries, healthy yeses, healthy nos as well, because you do not have to say yes to everything.
yes,
Mm,
100%.
mm. Wow.
And also learning from things, if we say that yes and it was actually not a healthy thing,
Yeah,
it's not about blaming myself.
yeah,
It's about learning from it and practicing this the next time.
yeah,
A lot of times I do say yes and inside me my heart tell me like, say no, no, you don't have time, you don't have this. But we are still humans, it
yeah,
happens.
yeah. That's true. Yeah.
And the question is not to blame myself but how
Oops.
to learn from this experience.
That's it. Oops, I did it again. Then I say to
Yes,
myself with a big
yes.
smile. Yeah,
Exactly. Sometimes laughing about myself, like, oops, again.
yeah, yeah. I do have a last question for you, dear Tess. What is embodied vitality to you?
Embodying vitality.
Hmm.
So, vitality for me means shining, not in the terms of physical, but in terms of energy, having a shining energy.
Hmm.
I believe that's vitality for me.
Hmm. And embodied vitality.
Embodied vitality. So, if vitality is about shining, embodying that is about shining all of the time.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, thank you. Mm.
Thank you as well.
Yeah, well. Do you have anything for the last couple of minutes you want to share, want to say?
Yeah, I think something I want to share that is in my heart is, sometimes we go and we judge ourselves a lot about what kind of life we have,
Mm,
and we start running
mm,
a lot of loops of what we did or maybe what we should have done.
mm,
And the moment we start doing this, we lose our power of taking control of our life and changing our life. And this is something I also experience myself, and I forget sometimes that I'm still way more powerful than all of the circumstances. And I think you and the audience will also agree on this, that in the past we have problems that we thought we will never overcome, and para, something happened and we have a breakthrough and everything changed.
mhm,
And this is something also so important to keep in mind, that we are not our circumstances. And if we are not satisfied in a certain thing in our life, it doesn't mean we need to let it or accept it or tolerate it. Maybe accept it is good, but not tolerating it.
mhm,
And to understand that we are the creator of our life and we can change any of the circumstances around us.
mm. Wow. Yeah, thank you. And I think,
Thank you as well for inviting me here.
yeah, and let's celebrate this really last thing you were saying about that, about life, about the experience, and about, yeah, where you're focusing on. So thank you
Yes,
for
a pleasure.
for your shiny, energetic energy. I so love it. And thank you for being my guest in my podcast, In Between Rest and Movement. So raise
Thank you for
both
inviting me.
our hands.
Let's do
Our
that.
multiple taps on the back. Thank
A
you.
pleasure, dear, a pleasure. Thank you for having me here.